Hello YouTube and welcome to a whole new series of Discord bot development in TypeScript. We'll be using a couple of frameworks in this series, one of which is Sapphire framework and the other one being Discord.js. Discord.js, the framework we use to interact with Discord. Sapphire framework is what we use for our command handler and all that fun stuff. Trust me, it's a good framework. Alright, so what we're going to do first, we have a whole new project in Visual Studio Code. I've named it TypeScript bot. We want to do npm init, put -y at the end, and now we've got our package.json. So there's that. And since the TypeScript project, we will need a tsconfig.json, which I'll leave a link to in the description. I'm just going to paste it in, so I use it in all my projects. They look something like this. And we'll need an src folder because, as you can see, we want to include whatever in src. Okay, now we're going to install our frameworks that we need. So right now all we need is discord.js. That will install. And Sapphire/framework. Again, I'll leave these in the description as well, should you need to copy and paste them. Since we're using TypeScript, let's go ahead and install our node types. So npm i@types/node -D to save it as a dev dependency. So now we have our IntelliSense on everything we need. So to get started, we're going to need to create a client. So we'll be extending the Sapphire client class. I'll just make a new folder called client. And within there, name it whatever you want, but I'm going to name it test client because the bot I'm using is called test monkey. Now we're going to want to do our imports. So since we're extending the Sapphire client class, we want to go ahead and import Sapphire client. We're also going to want the log level, application command registers, register behavior, and that's all we need for now. But we will be modifying this file later on in the series when we're adding databases and all that fun stuff. Let's go ahead and import our intent, so gateway intent bits from discord.js, and then from there we can actually do the class extending. So export default class test client extends Sapphire client, and we want our constructor. And within there, we'll define our intents. So what intents do we need? So we're not going to be reading any message contents, I don't think. Not yet. But we'll import it all for the future anyway. So gateway intent bits, guilds. Gateway intent bits, guild messages. So right now we don't need all this, but we're importing it anyway, just for the future. Guild members, guild presences, and message content. Message content is a privileged gateway intent bit now, which you enable in your Discord developer portal in your application settings. Now we want to do our logger. So all we need here is simply log level, and we're just going to go with .info. We don't need to see the debugging stuff. You might want to enable it just in case, you know, we want to see what's going on, but right now we don't need it. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and do public override login. And this takes a token, which is a string. So right now, we're overwriting the login function. So all we want to do now is return super.login and pass our token through there. As for the application command registers, this is for our slash commands. So what this would do is, whenever we update a file, let's type it, right. So yeah, whenever we update a file, one of our command files, it will update in the command registry as well. So that your slash command in Discord will update. If you delete a file, the command gets deleted. If you edit a file, the command gets edited, so on. So it ensures that all your application commands are up to date. Alright, so now we need to log into this client. So I'm going to go ahead and create an index.ts file just inside the src directory. And all we want here is, first we should probably create a .env, shouldn't we? Yeah. So let's install .env real quick. And then we create a .env file, not in the src folder, but in your project root. And then here is where you're going to put like your Discord bot token. So I'm going to go ahead, do my bot token. You should keep your bot token secret, do not show anyone. I will be resetting mine after this video. And now we can access that in index.ts. So the first thing you want to do is import dotenv from dotenv. Do dotenv.config. All we need right there. And now we can import our test client, and we simply create a new instance of the test client and log into that said instance. As you can see, we have to pass through a token. To do that, we'll do process.env.bot_token. Is that what I called it? Yeah, bot token. So that's all that part all good. That will log into the client. Now what we want to do is create our ping command. So to do so, we're going to create a new directory called commands. Before we proceed, it is important, this is part of Sapphire framework, in the package.json to define your main. So in this case, it's going to be dist index.js, because we have our index.ts in the src folder, but when we compile with TypeScript, it's going to create a new folder called dist and put your JS files in there. So yeah, this is the file we're executing, not just index.js. If we don't change this, then the command handler won't work, the listeners won't work, or anything like that. But yeah, now we create a folder called commands, and within that folder, we're going to go ahead and let's keep it tidy. Let's add categories, so utility. And then I'm just going to do ping.ts. That should be okay. This is HostingBot, a cheap, fast and reliable hosting provider. They provide a range of affordable VPS plans to suit your hosting needs. And it gets even more affordable. Use code REVELATIONS at checkout, 30% off every month. If you're still in doubt, look at all these happy customers. And now within this file, we want to go ahead and import command from Sapphire framework, like so. We also want the application command registry to register the command. And we want to import a type of chat input command interaction. This is from discord.js. So we have our types. We're going to go ahead and install another package called Sapphire/decorators, because in my opinion it looks nicer when doing commands and listeners or anything. So we want to import apply options And again, this is completely optional, but this is the way we're going to be doing it in the tutorial series. And now we could do apply options. We want to put pass-through command options through here. And now we want the name of the command, which is going to be ping, a description, get response time in milliseconds of Discord API, and that's all we need. Then we can do export default class, ping command, extends command. Now this is where we're going to register the command. So we're going to do public override register application commands. So we're overriding the function, and it's going to take a registry, which is the application command registry. So in all realness, we could just do that as a type, to be fair, because we're not creating a new instance of it. Right, then in here we're going to do registry dot register chat input command, and this is going to take a command. So we do command set name this dot name dot set description this dot description. So this is getting information from our apply options up here that we've already defined. And then there's another object that gets passed through for your ID hints. And if you wanted to register the command in a guild, you can pass through an array of guild IDs to register the command in, but we're going to be registering a global command, so we'll just leave that empty. ID hints, I'll show you how to use that very soon. But for now, we need to make the chat input run function. So we're going to do public chat input run, which is going to take chat input command interaction. And we're just going to simply return interaction dot reply. The content is going to be pong. And I'm going to do some escaped backslashes for formatting. We're going to have this dot container dot client ws dot ping milliseconds, like so. So now we go test the bot, and it should work. But before we do that, obviously we need to compile. So let's do tsc. And now there's our dist folder and the index.js I was talking about earlier from the package.json. I'll go ahead and run the bot now. So yeah, the application now has one global command. That's good. Normally it returns an ID. Maybe they've updated the framework. Probably have to enable the debug log to get the ID. But once you have the command ID, that's when you pass it through to ID hints. But I suppose it's fine. Alright, let's go to the test area and Discord. Alright, so let's go ahead and run /ping. These are from other applications I was working on. We'll just do this one. And there it is. 103 milliseconds. Seems about right. I'm in the UK. So yeah, that is how we make a bot with a command handler and a ping command. In future videos, we'll be doing a lot more like web dashboards, databases, all that fun stuff. But that'll be later on to come. Bye bye.